Hey, what's up, you sexy bitches, and welcome back to the Weekly D. Today, I have two of my best friends on. I have Athena and Stevie, who are going to be talking to us about all things sex. Oh, this is an episode that is going to get a bit sexy. So, trigger warning, we talk about all things to do with sex, and we do not hold back. So, this is the Weekly D, because, honey, if you ain't getting your D on the daily, you better at least be getting it once on the weekly.
If you're not getting any and you want some tea, then come and join Dan up on the Weekly D. It's the Weekly D.
Welcome to my two favorite people. I've got Stevie and Athena with me because the only people that I would be comfortable talking about sex, sexual experiences, and funny, sexy stuff is you two. How are you both?
Very
Athena,
good.
you're both like, who speaks first?
Yeah.
Athena, tell us about yourself. Tell us who you are. Let people who are listening know who you are, and then we can go from here. So, Athena, you go first. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What do you do?
I am Athena. I'm from Serbia, Orca Predator.
Yes,
And
Orca Predator.
I'm Dan's female bestie now. And, and I'm a contortion coach. And I'm here to talk about contorted sex poses. No, I'm kidding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
well,
actually, I need to write that down on my question. So we need to, once Stevie's done his intro, that's going to be the first thing we're going to talk about. Okay, Stevie, tell us who you are, where you're from, what do you do? So people are probably like, didn't Stevie used to do pole once? And he still does sometimes. So tell us about that, Stevie.
So, hi, my name's Stevie. I pole dance once a year, but I've been actually I've been pole dancing for like I think 12 years now. But now, because of the pandemic, I kind of didn't pole and stopped, and now I study psychology. So I'm going to be here to add a little sexual psychology twist maybe to it. Who knows? Let's get in it and see what's going to happen.
Psychoanalyze us, daddy.
Yeah, get it, girl.
So, right, Athena, I'm going to go straight in because actually you just gave me a really interesting question. Because obviously you're a contortionist, please tell me what is the most contorted pose you've ever had sex in? There must be, like, have you ever had sex? You must have had sex in a middle split. Come on.
yes. You will be disappointed because I'm a lazy fucker, really. And yeah, I do too much already like that. I can't be bothered, you know? So a split. Yes. A middle split, a front split. Yeah. Back
Okay.
then, no.
So you've not done any so you've not like had sex in a chest stand or anything crazy?
No.
Do you think that's even possible?
Yeah, I think there are sites that do that.
Wait, hold on.
She's like, maybe I've seen some sites.
Yeah. She's like, I've heard that there's websites like that.
She's like, maybe there's someone with red hair doing chest stands. I have no idea.
They're doing a blowjob in a chest stand.
Oh my God. But like, do you think like it would be so dangerous though? No, because obviously if someone's like going full force in the back bend, would that not be like potentially really dangerous? There must be a niche for a porn like this. I think you need to be the first to do it, maybe.
But also, when you're in a chest stand, you can hardly breathe. So I imagine, like, if you're speaking or like moaning, it's like, yeah.
It would be like gagging on a cock or something. You know, like when you're giving a blowjob and you're really gagging. It'll be like that, but without anything in your mouth. In fact, that's what doing chest stands used to feel like for me. When I used to train chest stands, that's what it used to feel like. Stevie, have you ever done a chest stand before?
No, I've tried, like when you go to some stretch classes and they try and do like some warm-ups for that, but absolutely
Yeah.
not, no.
Like the ones where you like roll forward and you try to see how high your legs can go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
When you're
look
like on the
back.
mat and you're like,
Yeah. And I used to get a really bruised chin because I used to just launch myself forward. You know, you're just like on your knees, you just go hips forward, you just go, here we go. And you just roll forward and you're like, oh my God.
It's
Um,
like when you try anal for the first time, you don't know how it's going to go, but you're just willing to try it anyway.
no, and it's going to get messy either way, isn't
Oh
it? So,
God.
it's the
Yeah.
same with contortion. It's going to get messy at some point. You're just going to get blurred. But so Athena, literally, what middle split is the only position you've ever had sex in?
Yeah, and it's like or the frog. I have a very good frog for sex.
Oh, okay. So, Stevie, do you know what a frog is? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
anyone who's listening at home, a frog is like what else I guess it's doggy style with your knees really far apart, right?
It's a very wide-legged spread doggy style. It's the queen's doggy style.
And
Mm.
are you lazy in bed, Athena? Do you just lay on your back with your legs spread in a box split? I can imagine
On
you
my
being a lazy
back
bitch.
or in my frog. Yeah, I am a lazy bitch. I really am a lazy bitch.
And you've got kids as
When
well,
they're
so
like,
it must be a nightmare to like have even have sex without the kids just walking in, no?
You know, I told you my kid, the little one, he sleeps in our bed, right? So we have sex. Oh God, he's 4.5, you know. Oh God. Is it shit? That happened a few weeks ago. Because usually he sleeps really tight and we have very quiet sex because in the other room it's my mother-in-law and my eldest. So it's like there is no escape, you know?
Yeah.
And
it
So you
brings a
just
whole new meaning to child
I
pose.
know.
it's
So
so bad.
and what
A
happened? He woke up?
Yes, a few weeks ago, like we were having sex, and all of a sudden we hear him talking something, and we stop, and he's there looking at us, and he's like, I find this really disgusting, and turned around and went back to sleep. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like, I think, see, the thing is, right, I was thinking about this. Straight sex, it's so much easier for you guys to just sort of like whip it out and do it. Oh, gay sex, we can't do that. It's a whole process for us. Like, do you know when, like, Stevie, tell me if you agree with this, but like, you know how like straight couples will be like, they could just stop at the side of the road, get into the back seats, have sex and go. I'm like, honey, where's your lube? Where's the towels? Where are the props? Where's the pre-sex douche? Okay, I need to know where the douche is. Okay, like we just can't. I mean, is that just me though? Like, or have you ever been in a sexual experience where you've just been able to just go for it and just do it right there and then?
I think you have a really good point, and I think also when it comes to gay sex as well, and when you have to prepare for yourself mentally, you need to get ready for it. So sometimes it takes the like spontaneity out of it because you're almost like so worried about what's actually going to happen if things go bad.
Badly, of
And then when
course.
you're like in the toilet getting prepared, it doesn't feel sexy.
No, it does not, does it? Yeah, it's funny how like pushing water out of your bum, it doesn't really feel sexy actually. It's odd that, isn't
No,
it?
you're like, oh, I can't wait for this.
We're just like, oh, just clearing the area. You're like, wow, this feels so sexy. I am
I
so
love my
horny
life
right
right
now.
now.
See, Athena, like, you don't need to prepare for any stuff like this. So, like Stevie was just talking about, like, mentally preparing. Do women have to mentally prepare, like, intent? So when we say mentally prepare, like, we have to really focus on relaxing, because if we don't relax, that muscle won't relax, and obviously, that muscle doesn't relax. That's quite important. So when you have, and this sounds so stupid, this sounds like something that maybe I should probably already know, but when you have vaginal sex, like, do you have to, relax yourself for anything to go in it, or is it just ready to go at any time?
I think it's pretty ready to go for. Like, I mean, obviously, if you want to enjoy it, then you want to prepare yourself, especially if you're not too turned on. I mean, I've been in a relationship for 7 years, so, obviously, sometimes. Like, it's not like there's gonna be any surprise. I already know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
it's like, do I want to bother? And then it's like, okay, I'll bother. So yeah, obviously I prepare myself mentally, but it's nowhere near what you have to go through.
I know this, and again, do you know, I'm going to have so many questions like this because I literally, I've never ever had sex with a woman, ever. I've not even done stuff with a girl before. So little things like, obviously, I know that for women, that I've seen people talk about it before, you know, about having to make sure that you're, you know, like horny so that downstairs is able to let things go in. So, like, obviously, as well, I assume you have to get in the mood first and stuff. Is foreplay as essential for, you know, straight couples as it is for gay couples? Because foreplay for gay couples is quite important because, like I said, you can't just shove something straight into that hole because
Oh
it ain't
God.
ready. It ain't ready, honey. You know, so is it the same for, you know, the vagina?
I'm talking individually now, and also what like
She's
what
like, you
I
can just shove it in right now. It would be absolutely fine.
yeah, I like literally, especially if it's like a morning thing that I want to get it done quickly just so that, you know, because I'm never horny in the morning and he often is, so it's like okay, just get it over with. And yeah,
Wake me
it's
up when you're done.
literally
Your child's in the background, like, I guess I'll just colour some books and then
I'll just, yeah. Poor, yeah, your kid's in the background just doing a colouring in book, just trying to occupy himself.
just like reading the Kama Sutra, like, oh, she'll be done soon.
He's like, do you need to borrow this, or, you know, can I colour it in?
Like, oh no, she's fine. I can see she's okay.
Oh dear. So, but hold on, you were saying you were before we interrupted you. So yeah, like, do you? I guess what I'm trying to say is obviously like, yeah, like if he rolled over one morning and was like, oh come on, let's just do it. Could he just literally? It can just go straight in. There's no, you don't have to lubricate or anything like that or nothing.
I think it depends on what kind of lips you have in your vagina
Oh
because
wow. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
yeah, my best friend, she has a porn vagina. It's like she had porn surgery to do porn on her vagina, but she did it. She has like, I don't know if you've watched straight porn, but she has this vagina with those really tiny inner lips, the vulva.
Uh-huh.
It, it's really tiny, so it's the most good-looking pussy I've ever seen in my life. But she needs to like lubricate and all that because the lips, they're not they're not holding on enough moist. I'm not a doctor.
Oh,
I'm
I
just
see. I know.
yeah,
Okay. Oh, so you're saying that they actually hold the moisture in, kind of. So they're seals, basically. They
yeah.
seal the moisture in. Well,
I
okay,
have
so
a
it's like a
bigger vulva,
Ziploc bag.
and
Okay,
it's like I just have to open it, and then it's yeah.
it's ready to go. The moths fly out and the penis goes in. It's great.
I also think it's I also think it's important just to put on my like psychology head for a little bit to understand what you appreciate as well, because you were talking about whether you like morning or evening sex, and it's understanding in yourself what you like actually like. There's a I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a sex triangle, and it's understanding things like whether you like it in the evening, what turns you on, like lube, no lube, and understanding what works for you and what makes you feel comfortable. So what we were saying before of like preparing and whether you're like not ready, and then once you're actually ready for it, just recognizing what turns you on and then to get into it like safely and mentally ready.
Yeah, I think it must be obviously like Athena said. I guess it's different for different people. I guess, you know, Athena's a mum as well, so it must be so different. I guess sex for you when you were single was so different, right?
Oh yeah, totally. And I was much tighter,
Oh, of
obviously.
course. I was, oh, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
So it never ever goes back to the same tightness it was before? Like it will never go back?
It does if you do like the exercises, like you put balls in it and squeeze the balls. You can even hold weight with your vagina, but I have better shit to do. But I regret it now. I really regret it.
So is that Kegel exercises? Is that what that's called?
Oh
Yes.
my God,
Kegels.
Dan, well
That's one.
done.
I know. Well, do you know? I just because can't gays we kind of do Kegel exercises as well for our butts, right? You know, I'm doing it right
Yeah, I'm
now.
literally doing
I'm
it as
literally
well.
doing it now. You know, when you talk about it, you kind of have to do it just to check you can still do it. But it's like an
I've
exercise
not
where,
been able to
like
do that for
Athena, you
about
can do
15
it.
years.
But you know, like when you squeeze, there's another word for it. What's
Is
it
it your
called? Where you
pelvic
squeeze that
floors?
muscle? Pelvic
Yeah.
floors, yes. So, and that will help, but it won't. So, and it can make it go to how it was pre-baby, or it won't ever go
Oh
back to
yeah, I think in some cases, if you really practice, you can even get to a point where you can light up a cigar with your vagina and open a bottle of champagne. I know these, like in Asia, it's quite a thing in their culture, in their sex culture, like to open champagne bottles with their vaginas. Like they're
That must be
super
so
tapped.
painful. Can you imagine? Stevie, can you imagine shoving a champagne bottle up your bum trying to, it would probably snap in my butt and then just like rip me all open or something. It probably, something terrible would happen to me. That's the kind of luck that I
You'd have
have.
to start small, like at least start with a bottle of poppers and then work your way up to some like Moe.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, you have to work up to the champagne, babes. I'll always remember once, right? I'll always remember once watching someone said, do you remember back in the day when people used to send each other like funny videos on, like, you remember the two girls, one cup thing? It used to get sent around to everyone by text message before we had WhatsApp. I remember someone sending me, and do you know what's funny? Stevie, I think it might have even been you. You might have sent me this link. It was a guy sitting on a traffic cone. And I was like, how is that physically possible? And he fucking did. I mean, he didn't go obviously all the way down the thing, but he went a freaking good way.
eek.
And I remember just thinking like, how is that even humanly possible? Like, that's impressive. Like, I was shocked and impressed at the same
It's one
time.
of those
But
things that you have
like,
to, like, you can't stop watching, but you also don't want to look.
you don't want to look, but you're just like, I need to see how far though. How far does he go?
You're like putting it on mute and just like fast forwarding the video.
Yeah, it's just shocking, but it's amazing really what the human body can do, isn't it? It's just crazy. Like you can, anything's a dildo if you believe enough in it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Literally.
um, so we decided we were going to play a game today. So we are going to play a game, and myself and Stevie are going to ask Athena some questions about gay sex and about, you know, just gay slang and things like funny questions. And we're going to see if she knows the answer. And she is going to be asking us some questions about straight sex and straight relationships. And she's going to see if we know the answer. So I will kick us off, and then Stevie can go second. We'll go me, Stevie, Athena, and we'll go around and we'll just see how we go. So, Athena, my first question is, what is a golden or platinum ticket gay? So, what is a golden ticket gay or a platinum ticket gay? What does that mean?
A golden gay. Uh,
Well,
oh, oh,
a golden ticket gay. So I'll try and, so imagine like, it's like a golden ticket gay. So like they're awarded this golden ticket because of something that they have or haven't done.
because they have a gorgeous dick.
No,
Oh,
incorrect. Try and guess one more. Try and guess one more.
okay. They're golden ticket because they can just get ready like this.
No, no.
Can I
I
have a
wish it
go?
was as I mean, I wish it was as lovely as that. I'm actually really sad that that isn't the answer because that's such a nice answer.
The funny thing
Yeah,
is like
no,
when you actually know the answer, and Athena's like, because you could get ready really quickly.
yeah. She's like, because gays are so fabulous and they just dress really quickly. I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Okay, what is it?
So, Stevie, you can answer. Tell her what the answer
I
is.
actually don't know, but I think I know. I don't know golden and platinum, but I think golden is someone who's like never slept with a woman, and I would say
Correct.
platinum someone who has never done anything with a woman and even came out as like a cesarean.
Correct. So, yeah. So, were you a
Oh,
cesarean? Were you a cesarean, Stevie?
No.
No, oh, so we're golden ticket gays. So yeah, a golden ticket gay is obviously someone who has never had any sexual intercourse with a woman, but was given birth through a vagina. If you were extracted from your mum's body via a C-section, you are a platinum ticket gay because it means literally no part of your body has ever been near a vagina. That's like it's top level, it's high level gayness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would have never guessed this.
It's a
Never.
dedication to the art.
And
It is.
they
So,
probably also get ready really quickly.
yeah, of course as well, Athena. They get dressed very quickly as well. They came out of the sunroof and they get ready really quickly as well, of course. Stevie, you've never ever been with a woman, have you?
No.
No. Athena, have you ever been with a woman before?
No, I kissed a girl.
And did you like it?
No, not at all.
Oh,
Nothing of
that's
the
a
sort.
shame. Nothing of the sort. So what you
No.
didn't fit. So if you were to have a three-way, Athena, would you rather it be with another girl or another guy?
Oh, another girl,
Another
definitely.
girl. Oh, okay. Oh,
You
okay.
know,
So, but
I don't like dick, right? I told you I hate dick as dick.
explain to everyone why you hate dick.
I don't know. I find it so ugly. It's like do your job and then pack it away because it's ugly.
But have you ever considered that maybe you just haven't seen a pretty one yet?
I've seen many.
I can imagine.
She's like, where are
I
these
know.
golden ticket gays with their like pretty dicks? I need to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to find yourself a golden ticket gay with a nice pretty dick, babe.
I do.
Oh, bless you. Okay, Stevie, what's your question?
So my question is, roughly how many fists do you think that you could fit into an average male size colon?
Oh,
How, how
Oh
many
no.
fists?
how
Yeah.
many fists?
Yeah, like
Oh
in
my
a
God.
if you think of what the length of a colon is,
Uh-huh.
so how
How
many
many
do you think you could
fists you could
roughly
fit
fit
into
in?
it?
Wait, do
Wait,
they
hold on.
go sideways or one behind the other?
Well,
Just
either
like,
way, it would
yeah,
surely it doesn't matter, no? Whether they're on top of each other or sideways. Because, so are we talking about, okay, I need to be very specific here because I
go
need to
for
get in
it.
on this question as well because I don't know the answer. So are we talking like if a colon was obviously, so we're not talking about while the colon is still inside someone's body
No.
because obviously you could only fit one up the butt, right? So we're talking about if you were to
Yeah,
stretch the
yeah.
colon out on the floor, I'm going to guess 10.
Yeah, I'll say 15.
Okay, go on, Stevie.
So from according to Google, the average size of a man's fist is roughly 19 centimeters, which I think is pretty big. So it's a colon is like 5 feet, so it's roughly eight.
Oh,
8. Oh, wow.
oh,
I mean, that's still pretty impressive, no?
it is.
Yeah.
And just where the why were you googling that? Just what an odd thing to Google, but an interesting question. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, I just
Well,
thought
now you know, I
I
guess.
I just need to know what my maximum is.
Yeah. Just so you know, because you don't want to hurt yourself.
No, I like to make sure that I'm like achieving my goals and I'm hitting the limits.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to go for the world record, so you're going to go for 9.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a colon
Athena.
extension.
Yeah. Athena, give us a straight sex question. Ask us something about straight sex. I feel like I should know an answer to some of these because I work with women every day, and I don't know if Stevie agrees with this, but when you're in class, some women just talk at you about their sex lives. So you kind of hear about it, and then you end up asking questions because you're already talking about it. So you just think, well, we're here now, so let's talk about it. So yeah, go on, ask us a question. Let's see if we can guess the answer.
Okay, I wanted to start with the easiest one, but I won't because it's just too easy. Um, huh. Do you think that a penis can be longer than a woman's uterus?
Yes. I think the answer is yes. Stevie, what do you think?
Um, I Oh, I want to say no.
Because the cervix has like a backboard, right? I mean, I don't know what it's called, but like there is a limit, right? To there's a there's a there's a roof there, right? So it can't. There's obviously going to be a limit, no?
But apparently, I wouldn't know. Maybe I do. Um, apparently, it stretches up. It stretches up like to your diaphragm if you want it to.
I love the way you say diaphragm. That's
I
probably the
know, I
most.
do. Wait, say that again.
Your diaphragma. Oh my God. I love the. Yes. Come on,
Yes,
diaphragma.
diaphragma, mama.
Oh, she says some cute words sometimes. Every now and then we'll like say a word and I'll be like, what is that? So wait, so you're saying that so there is a limit, but that limit can be pushed. So
Yes,
the
like
limit does not exist.
the limit does not exist. Apparently, it's like super flexible. It stretches.
Anyone who has watched Mean Girls will totally understand that reference.
I was
But
gonna say,
yeah,
I don't feel like your uterus would be that flexible though. It's just like sat there in the frog pose, just waiting to be
yeah.
filled out.
But surely there's only so far that it can stretch. Like, I mean, you're saying it'll go to the diaphragma, but like, you know, it's like so wherever. Like, I mean, surely there's a limit to where the whatever it is that's kind of holding the skin or whatever it is the internal parts are holding it there. Surely there's going to be a limit. Like, what happens when that limit is reached? Do you know what I mean? Like, what it must
I
just
don't know. Maybe
cause
it reaches
internal
to the
damage.
lungs. You
Oh my
know,
God.
because I really like. I don't know, but how big a penis can be anyway?
But is it so? And actually, this is a good question for you, Athena. Tell me, like, what from you? That's obviously going to be your opinion, but do you think size matters?
No,
You
no.
don't. So you think that having just like a good technique is good enough?
Well, obviously, I would not go for this.
Okay,
No.
just for reference, anyone who's listening to this, she's doing a sign with her fingers that are quite close together. Okay, fine. So this is not good enough. What would you say is like? What would you say is like the kind of nice size? I think sort of anything between 5 to 7 is a decent enough size to be able to do something good with it. No
Is that
inches.
inches?
Yeah. Why
Inches.
do
Yeah.
you do centimeters?
Yeah, I do centimeters, but yeah.
Yeah. So hold on. So wait. Okay, another random question. So hold on. You're saying you do centimeters. So when you're talking to someone, or you're like, or if you're watching porn in your
How many
country,
centimeters are you?
it's like, yeah, whip out your 24 centimeter cock. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound right. You want to be like, oh yeah, whip out your 7 inch dick. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you say in centimeters? That's like, I don't know. I can't. It
No,
doesn't
I think
work.
anyway, most of the porn that we watch here is American, so it's inches.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. I was going to say, well, I think it's the same where we are. I think a lot of the
Or
porn that we
German.
watch is. Oh,
German
really?
porn. Oh yeah.
Why is Yeah, it's funny because porn is quite big in Germany, right? It's a very
Ach
Is
ja.
it?
sexually liber. Oh yeah, it's a very sexually liberated country.
Yeah.
True. I mean, if you think of what Berlin's like, it's like extremely like
Yeah, I've
out
heard it's
there.
like pretty sexy in Berlin. I know. I'm actually going to Berlin soon, and yeah, I've been told. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you going to?" There's this club there. It's like a sex club, something Kitty. It's like called Kitty's Cat Club or something like this. And yeah, everyone's like, "Are you going to go there?" I'm like, "What is it?" They're like, "Oh, it's like one of the best like sex clubs or something like this." It's like Torture Garden, which we've been to before, and we love Torture Garden. I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to be working, but maybe another time." So
Oh no, I'm
it's
gonna hold on that one yet. But they have, from what I've heard, they have like different nights of like water sports and stuff, and like they allow. There's very like little limits to what they don't allow in the club.
oh, okay.
Hmm?
Wow. That's pretty cool. Well, saying that, there wasn't really much of a limit to what you could do in Torture Garden. I remember walking into Torture Garden with you, Stevie. Do you remember when we walked into the what do they call it, the dungeon bit, and there was that woman that was on the surgical bed, and some guy was just fucking her like like it was nothing. I was
But
like,
with a
oh.
lollipop.
I just there was so many different things, and there was a guy that was dancing in like one of the cage areas, and some girl was like stood on the outside. And he just walked up to her, and she just started sucking his cock. She obviously didn't know who he was, and I was just like, "Whoa!" I mean, don't be wrong, it was so it was, and it
You're
wasn't.
like, excuse me, could you get off my penis, please?
Yeah, excuse me, but you know when you're just like, wow, it was just so, and it wasn't in any way like they weren't uncomfortable. They were just having a great time. It was just, I wish I had the confidence to do stuff like that. Like I wouldn't. I mean, I'd say I'm pretty sexually liberated, but I wouldn't say I'm confident enough to just go into a club and let some random person have sex with me. I mean, what about you, Stevie? Have you ever done something like that?
Um, I have, but only because I've been under the influence. But I think that's a really important thing as well as sidetracking, especially with consent. But I think with pole dancing is a lot of people take pole dancing up to build their confidence up. And I think if you're
Mm,
going to a club like that, I think you need to be really careful of not using alcohol as a way of building your confidence, but actually being okay with yourself and going to a club and like making sure what you're doing, you're not going to regret and you're actually doing it to fulfill your desires or your needs, not because it's off the back of whatever you're taking or whatever you're drinking.
yeah. So, do you regret those experiences then because you're under the influence? You don't think you would have done it if you hadn't been drunk?
Um, I don't think I would have done it if I hadn't been drunk, but do I regret them? No. But do I remember?
Do I
But do
regret
I
them?
remember
No.
them?
Did I enjoy them? Yes,
Yeah.
but probably wouldn't do it again. But yeah, no, I mean, I've never done anything like that, but then I obviously don't drink. So I guess again for me, like, because I don't go out and I don't get drunk, I think it's so bit different as well because I don't have that same. Yeah, I don't know. I guess being drunk just makes you feel a lot more confident, doesn't it? And a lot more free and just literally zero care about what people think or anything. Do you know what I mean? So I guess in
Mm.
that scenario, maybe I might, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm married now, so all of we really, we've all got partners, so it's not really something that we would do now, but yeah, I don't know.
Do
Actually
you
talking
think
about that,
if
oh,
it's something that you discuss, like would Mitch be up for that, do you
I was
think?
literally just about to discuss this. This is so funny because me and Mitch have talked about this before, and we've said, like, I've always said to him, the rule has always been, I've said, if you want to have sex with someone else, do it with me so that we do it together because I don't want you to go off and cheat and do something behind my back because once that's done, that's done. We can't go back from that. But if we do it together, it's kind of an experience we can enjoy together. I mean, he doesn't want to do that. And I just said to him, if that ever changes, just talk to me about it. I wouldn't say I'm an overly sexual person. So things like that don't really appeal to me. Do you know what I mean? It
Mm.
doesn't appeal to me, but it might do in the future. I mean, me and Mitch have been together 12 years and we still haven't had the desire to do it. But, who knows? In another 12 years' time, we might be like, do you know what? Let's fucking do it. Why not? I think if it's like Stevie said, if both parties are consenting, why not? I mean, have you ever done that, Stevie?
No, I haven't, but I also think that when you're getting into relationships, because when people know that you pole dance, they just immediately assume that you have like a high sex drive or you're high sexually charged, which isn't always the case at all.
I actually
It's
would
you're
say
just
it's
doing
very
something.
rarely the case, no? Like when we pole
Yeah.
dance, who has the energy to have sex? Seriously. So you've never done it at all?
I haven't opened a relationship up, no,
No.
but me and Dylan have spoken. Like, if we do want to do something very similar to you, then we will speak with each other, and that's we will do it together. But I think communication with stuff like that is what do they call it? Like consensual monogamy, to like open up a relationship. But I think it's super important to communicate. But that's just not something that I could do. I think I'm too much of a like unhinged
Mm.
to to be able to do it and then like not overthink it and not
Yeah.
because once
Mm.
you've done it the memory is always going to be there, and I think for me I would always look back and think about it and be like, oh, do I regret it or do I not?
My concern, I've said this to Mitch, so we have also said that if this was to ever happen, and we get down the line, we do want to do some of this, it would be something that we would go away on holiday and do. So when we're on holiday, we do it while we're away, because if you do it with someone who's in a completely different country, there is no chance that you're ever really going to see them again. It's very low chance, right? I just worry, because when I've seen couples in the UK, and I know of couples that have done it in the UK, and then one person has gotten attached to the other person, and then it's caused a problem in their relationship, and they've ended up inevitably breaking up. And I think that would be super sad. So I really wouldn't want that to happen to us. So I just
No.
said, if we were to ever do something like that, we would, it would have to be 100% with someone that neither of us knew. We had no contact with. It would literally just be, we go on holiday, we do this, we have our fun, and we come home and like that. I mean, what about you, Athena? Have you and your partner ever had a sexual experience
Oh,
with anyone else?
oh no, no. We're both way too, how do you call it? Possessive. So no
Right.
way.
Okay. So the
Yeah,
only
no.
person to have been involved in your sexual experiences is your child sleeping next to
Yeah.
you? Oh dear, poor child is going to be so haunted in his adult life. He's just not going to be able to remove this from his brain.
Oh, bless him.
He's so cute. It's just me, real quick. Do you ever have times where you're sat at home and you're thinking, "Oh, I wish my shoulder mount was stronger," or "I wish I could shoulder mount," or "I wish I could do an invert," or "I wish I was able to do an INX"? Well, let me help you. Come over and give my online strength and conditioning program a try. This is a program you can do from the comfort of your own home. All you need is a pole and a rocking attitude, and you'll be able to take class with me. We do 3 live classes every week, and you can catch up on hundreds of videos which are already on the site. So make sure you check out the Pole Destroyers. See you there. Right, my question. So I'm not going to do that one because we've kind of done one similar to that. Okay, Athena, what are poppers and what are they used for?
Oh God. I watched all that gay porn last night and none of these terms came up.
Oh, you weren't watching the right ones. So, okay, I'm gonna
Wait,
give
she's
you.
like,
I'm gonna give
poppers
you a
are something
clue.
that holds gay outfits in, so they can just pop it out and get ready really quickly.
Yeah,
And be
yeah.
ready.
I think poppers are a box that they go into and they pop out of it and they look fabulous when they come out. Oh no! So I'm going to give you a little clue. It's a liquid. It
Okay.
comes in a small bottle, and you sniff it.
You sniff a liquid. Now you got me interested.
Yeah.
You sniff. Yeah.
So, okay,
Okay.
I'll tell you the answer because you obviously don't know. So, and yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't involve nice outfits or anything, I'm afraid, Athena. But poppers are used for, well, they don't have to be. Like some people don't use them at all. But basically, poppers are a drug. They're advertised as room odorizers, so they're legal. You can actually buy them in some shops. And you basically sniff them, and it gives you a little bit of a head rush, but it relaxes your muscles. So it means that instead of fitting, 8 fists into your colon, you might be able to get 10 in your colon. Tens across the board.
Wait, do you use it?
So I use it sometimes. It depends. So this comes down to that whole relaxing talk. When we're talking about relaxing, some days it won't relax. Some days it just won't do it on its own. So having it available and there and ready is good. The only problem for me, and I'm going to ask Stevie what he thinks, but I just cannot stand the smell of it. It's so disgusting. Like, I mean, what about you, Stevie? Like, I know obviously you've used them, but what do you think of the smell? It's just so bad, isn't it?
Yeah, and it gives you like a massive head rush, but it mainly
Right.
is just used as a muscle relaxant, but it
Yeah.
gives you like a feeling of just being like a bit more relaxed. But I get like really hot from it, but it does make, I guess, like the beginning of it more comfortable, but because at times it just feels really uncomfortable, and so you just need something to kind of just like help relax you.
Yeah. And obviously, like, you know, people always say like, oh, you know, use lots of plenty of lube. I'm like, honey, there's only so much lube you can use. Do you know what I mean? Like, it ain't gonna make the muscle relax. So it's, you know, making sure that, because it's so important to make sure it is relaxed, because you're just gonna cause damage otherwise, and it's just not worth it.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm.
although, you know, it is worth saying that obviously drug use is bad, everybody. Even though it's a legal drug use is bad. And I don't recommend, you know, especially like, because I mean, chemsex obviously a completely different ball game, but you know, having sex whilst under the influence is always going to, you know, under the influence of, you know, drugs, drink, or anything like that. It is going to relax you, but at least with poppers, you're fully conscious still. It's literally just gives you a bit of a head rush. I mean, if you're off your head on coke, obviously this is where it just goes into a completely different territory. So I think that's obviously why they're available to buy in shops and stuff. You can buy them. It kind of just gives you a head rush for kind of like, what I would say, maybe like 30 seconds maximum. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not,
That's a long time,
I
but
was gonna
yeah.
say maybe even like a 10-second kind of little head rush. It just allows them,
Oh,
but yeah, it kind of just gives you a little bit of a head rush, makes you a little bit warm. It makes me quite hot, so it makes you quite warm. You get a bit of a head rush, helps your muscles relax. It just helps basically. But yeah, so that's
It
what
almost
poppers
makes you
are.
feel like you're going to pass out, but you don't, and you just get dicked instead.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Instead of passing out, you just get a dick pushed in your bum instead. It's great fun. Athena, we're talking lots about anal sex, obviously, because it's the only sex that we can have. But do you ever have anal
yeah.
sex? Are you in,
Oh, God. Yeah, I tried.
you're not
I tried
interested?
like, oh, I tried a few times and look, the relaxing part, like I can't.
It's funny because I've had this discussion with women before, and some of them say that they get pleasure out of it. But I find it really odd because obviously you guys don't have a G spot up your bum,
Cross.
a prostate, whereas men do, right? So it's like we obviously have something up there that does give us a pleasurable experience, whereas women don't. So I always wonder how it actually gives any pleasure. But I guess obviously it's still close to, you know, the vaginal canal and all that sort of stuff. So I guess it still maybe stimulates that area and stuff.
Connected.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fair
love to
enough.
know how many, like, I don't know much about it, but I feel like maybe men would suggest it more in a straight relationship than women.
Yeah. I think one thing that isn't talked about enough is the fact that a lot of straight men, I think, actually would like a finger up the bum or something up their bum because their prostate is up there, you know. And I think
Yes.
it's so sad that there are men out there that just are so anti it. Do you know what I mean? They're just like, no, like, it's just like so weird because they're really like,
It's so ridiculous.
it's, yeah.
You know, Marco's cousin, he was actually joking about it recently, and he was like, I don't want to try because I'm afraid I'm gonna like it.
I think the only difficulty I would say as a straight guy, obviously, you're not going to go to the extent of cleaning out the area and stuff. So and also, you know, if the woman you're having sex with has got quite long nails, that could be quite uncomfortable. Whereas
Ooh,
obviously, gay men tend to keep their nails quite short, and like, yeah, so it could be a
Because we like to be
really,
ready quickly, so
of
we
course.
need short nails, so we just,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you want it to be comfortable, of course, and but I think it's sad that there are, you know, straight men sort of holding themselves from
Mi-
an amazing sexual experience, holding themselves back. It's so sad.
They're missing out.
They are totally. I mean, but like I said, it's that whole thing as well. Like as a straight guy, I mean, listen, I mean, come on, let's be honest. We've all been in a changing rooms in a gym before. Stevie, you've seen straight men do not take care of that area. They've got fucking hair everywhere. They're just like they don't take care of that area, really, do they? Let's be honest. Like, so I have to say, as a woman, I probably wouldn't want to stick my finger up there either, if I'm honest. Like, I'd be like, go and shower and like sort your butt out, make sure it's nice and clean, please, and then I will. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think obviously for gay men, we keep that area nice and, you know, tidy and clean. And whereas I can imagine most straight men probably don't do that, you know?
No,
No.
no.
Stevie, what's your next question for us, babe?
So my next question is, actually we mentioned it earlier,
Oh,
but when do you think the Kama Sutra was written?
When do you think the Kama Sutra was? Well, it's very old, isn't it? It's been around for years.
For
Bit
like
like us.
1,000 years.
No, 1,000 years. Do you think? I
I
was
would guess
I was gonna
so.
say 60s. I don't know. Oh God.
No, I think it's
I'm
ancient.
gonna go.
Maybe not
But
a
I'm gonna go
thousand.
1950s.
wait,
I'm probably
I
so
think the
off.
covers. So it's 400 like BC apparently.
What?
Well,
Yeah.
BCE, yeah.
Oh my God. I was like, yeah, probably the 50s. Wow, that's amazing. Did you have any more information on it that you've got there? Did you?
Like you're like Dusty Springfield was just singing along and then writing the Kama Sutra.
Yeah. Oh wait, wait. So Dusty Springfield wasn't the author? I thought it was. Oh, that's so sad.
1950s.
Wow. Oh my God. I didn't realize it was that old. That's just amazing. Isn't it weird though? And don't you find that really odd that like sex obviously has always been a thing. We're in the 20th century, right? We're in the 20th century, right? We're in the
21st. Yeah,
yeah, oh, 21st. So we're in the 21st century.
I think.
I love that Dan just has no concept of years or
I'm
time.
like, wait, hold on. Well,
Kama
it's
Sutra's written in
2022, people. Okay,
1950s.
I don't know what century we're in, but it's 2022. We've been around for a long time, and it's a bit like, how are we still got people who are uncomfortable talking about sex? Like, I find it really, really odd because it's just such a natural thing. Like, I mean, I know, don't be wrong. I know this, and this is actually a bit of a controversial thing to say. I actually understand that some people don't like to talk always about gay sex because if it's not an experience that they're used to, it can make them feel uncomfortable. And you could even say that maybe some gay men feel uncomfortable talking about straight sex because it's not something they're used to. And it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable at all. I actually quite like talking about it. But yeah, I just find
I
it
think most
really
people
odd.
feel uncomfortable talking about it because they have issues of it themselves. Like I remember, like even after nights out, some people who I would get with when I was dating this guy, he was just very confident. And even things like the next day, he was like, "Oh, let's shower together." And I'm like, "So you're going to see me in like broad daylight?" And there's all these like insecurities that come to light of knowing that someone's that's not drunk, that is going to be sober, and then you're just kind of like spending time together with no clothes on. And I think elements of that are, are what make people insecure and worry about it.
Yeah, it's funny as well you say that because like you're talking about the showering thing. I dated a guy, well, years and years ago now, but he was a rugby player and he would just like walk around the house naked like all the time. Like he didn't care. Like I even if I'm at home on my own, I don't walk around the house naked. Like I always put underwear on or something. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a bit of a prude in that sense. And he was the same. He was just like after sex, he'd just want to lay there or whatever, and I'd be like, no, come on, he's going to shower. He'd be like, let's just lay here and chill out. I'm like, no, like we have to go and wash away our sins. And then it's just like, do you know what I mean? I was just like, no, he was just like, just chill out. And that he'd walk around like naked. He didn't care at all. Like, it's funny actually. Apparently that's a rugby thing. Rugby guys like are naked around each other all the time. So they're very like chill with shit like that. But it was really odd. I found it actually quite refreshing in a weird way. It was kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of nice in a weird way.
It's quite hard because at times, like you're kind of so it's called your like drive system, but your drive system kind of kicks in if you feel a bit uncomfortable. It's like that get up and go and like if you feel a bit anxious or nervous when you're especially if you've got no clothes on or when you feel vulnerable, you're almost like next go-to thing is like right, let's get up and shower. So then you're moving on and kind of forgetting about those emotions and those feelings and you're pushing yourself to the next thing. But actually what the rugby guy was saying is actually just sit down is kind of the best thing to do, but actually a bit scary because you're just sat there feeling
Yeah.
rather than getting up and
And
doing.
just like, yeah, trying to almost, yeah, I feel like maybe it was almost like I felt a bit undignified, just like still being naked after we kind of finished. And I was like, oh, okay, we should probably like get back to normal life now. But actually, we forget like sex is a part of normal life. And yeah,
So you felt undignified because you were naked, not because you were filled with cum.
Athena, that was when I was single. I was using condoms and thank you. But like, no, it wasn't because I was
Oh.
filled with cum, for fuck's sake.
but,
No, but it
but
was,
also that afterwards, you're like, oh, don't worry, I'll shower on my own. And then you're like, maybe we'll just put some music on and you're just in the bathroom on your own, like,
yeah. Right, but okay, and we don't talk enough about that, right? Because we are obviously have, and it must be the same for women. When you're having sex, air is being pushed into that
Yeah.
area, and it's gonna come out. And yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, isn't it? But like, yeah, it's just funny. Like, I think it's that whole thing of like, when you've come, you just kind of feel like, oh, you know. You know when you're like watching a
and
porno
also,
and then you come and you're like, you filthy whore, turn this off now. You're like, what are you watching? But yeah, it's just like, I think it's more that kind of thing. I think it's more just the experience after you've done the deed, it's all done. You're just a bit like, okay, I need to go and just wash away my sins now and go back to the sweet innocent person that I was before.
this might be a bit too much information, but like, once, if the person does finish inside, once you have to empty, the smell.
Oh God, that smell. But no, okay. So hold on. Wow. I mean, yeah, this is really going a bit TMI. But so for any listening, if you're still listening to this podcast at this point, congratulations, because this has been a lot more disgusting than I thought it would be. Yeah. So that smell, though, Stevie. Funnily enough, because I've actually always wondered this. Because you're right. Obviously, when it comes out, you think. Because it makes you always think like, why does the cum smell like that? That's disgusting. It's not the cum. It's the residue of like the water and stuff that you've normally washed yourself out with. Because obviously all the water doesn't just come out. So even though all of it, the majority of it is out, there's still small bits of residue of it there. So yeah, and oh God.
It keeps the moisture in, like your friend's
Yeah,
vagina.
exactly. The like our bum flaps just close and it keeps all the moistness in. It's great. But yeah, I think but this is the funny thing, like, these are quite in-depth, disgusting parts of sex, but it's normal. It's so
It's
normal.
normal.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it
but
really
people
is.
are embarrassed to talk about things like this. I mean, Stevie, what's the most embarrassing thing to have happened to you during sex?
Actually, nothing like crazy embarrassing. I think the one thing for me is just like not being clean, even though I've cleaned.
Right. It's always the same. I'd say mine is the same. It's like thinking
Yeah.
that everything's out, thinking that the water is running clear, but it's not running clear. You're just like, yeah, and that's so probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And I've been very,
But
very
that's what
lucky.
I always wondered,
Go on.
like about anal sex now, whether it's gay or straight. I mean, it's obvious. I don't know. To me, it's like obvious that something is gonna come out, and it's like there's nothing to be embarrassed
Uh-huh.
about because it's right. Like,
I
why are you
guess
Yeah.
embarrassed
it is
when
still
it's
embarrassing, isn't
normal?
it? I've been very lucky that, so if I'm, okay, again, a little bit of TMI for everyone. I've been very lucky that not too much has ever come out, in terms of, like poop, like nothing has come out. But for me, it's been like water has. So obviously, again, for anyone who's listening to this, like, I'm so confused. Like, gay men wash their bums out so that it's nice and clean in there, so the area is clean and that there's no sort of like feces in there, basically. And it's very, very normal. Like pretty much every gay man you'll ever speak to probably does it. Not all do, some just go for a high fiber diet and choose not to do that and just, they'll go to the toilet and then they'll do it after that. There's no problem. But a lot do tend to wash out because, it's just kind of, it's the surest way to kind of make sure that everything's clean. So, and it's been, there was a time that I'd thought everything was out and it wasn't. And we went to change positions. And as it came out, so did the water. And let me tell you, if you think the smell after sex is bad, well,
Oh,
when the water's
oh,
been inside your colon for 15 minutes, let me tell you, that shit. Do you know
oh.
what? It literally made me think, if you've ever seen people get colonics and stuff, The smell of that water must be so bad. I can only imagine how bad that water smells. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing to have happened to me. Oh, and I almost got caught having sex in the woods once, but again, we didn't get caught, so it was all fine. But that's probably the worst thing to happen to me. So Athena, apart from your baby waking up mid-sex, what's the most embarrassing thing to have happened to you during sex?
During sex, oh, I threw up once
Shut
because of
up.
yeah, I have a bad gag reflex.
Oh my God. So what, you just threw up? When you say you threw up, are you talking like a little bit or like you're...
A little bit, but it was obvious.
And what did you do? Did you just have to suck it up and keep going, or did it go everywhere?
No, we're open with each other. I was just like, yeah, he saw it. It was Marco. He was
Oh,
like,
okay.
are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And that was it. It was done.
Oh, so it actually came out of your mouth. Oh,
Mm.
wow. Okay. Oh, I thought you meant it just was a little bit in your mouth. I was like, oh, wow. Did you keep
No,
going?
no. I
Oh,
thought I could
Just like
handle
pop a
it, but
Rennie and
I
then carry on.
did.
pop a Rennie in, yeah.
Pop a what?
A Rennie. So like a Rennie is like to stop acid reflux and stuff, right?
Oh God.
Oh dear. But yeah, I can imagine that was horrible. And that's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Yeah, during sex, yeah. And then obviously, oh God, whoever is listening to this podcast, because I told you that I gave birth to the little one in my apartment, right?
Oh no, hold on. You have to tell this story. Stevie has to hear it. It's the funniest story. Go on.
Oh, okay. So I'll start from the beginning. I was giving birth and I didn't know I was giving birth, as if I didn't do it before. But I guess it was different. So I was at home and I was like complaining that it hurts. And Marco was like, oh, do you want me to massage your back? And like, with the contractions, you're supposed to look at the time to see how far they are apart. I didn't look at any of that. I was just laying in bed and just like, oh, I'll call the doctor tomorrow morning because this hurts. Um, and then all of a sudden it started like really hurting. And I was still in the bed. And poop came out of me in the bed because it was happening.
Okay.
So I moved to the toilet. I thought I had to poo. And I moved to the toilet and I was sitting on the toilet. And all of a sudden, like I felt my whole hip bones moving apart. And I looked and I saw like the top of the head of the baby. And yeah, this is it. Then I called Marco and he was there like sitting in front of me waiting to catch the baby. It was like a whole thing. So obviously we're comfortable with each other. He
Yeah.
saw me shat myself, throw up on him, give birth to a baby, like we're good.
Yeah, I guess once you've had a baby with someone, they've seen you have to push a baby out, like you're going to be pretty comfortable. I've heard of this before though, because I remember saying this to you. I remember hearing about this sort of like people like being on the toilet and the baby has come out whilst they're on the toilet kind of thing. It's like the baby started coming out whilst they're on the toilet or has even like fully come out. And this is like quite not common, but it does happen. I'm like, what the? I remember someone telling me about this one. So when you told me that, I was like, oh my God, I didn't realize it actually happened. But yeah,
Yeah, because like when it pushes down, obviously like it pushes on your bum and everything.
yeah.
So you feel like you have to go to the toilet.
Mm.
It's the first thing that comes to your mind. It's like, oh, I have to go to the toilet. But then actually, no, something else is happening.
Oh my God.
And also, I didn't realise, but like the contractions change from like the front to the back.
What you get
Also.
the
So like,
contractions in your back as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I tell you, I don't envy women. You guys go through a shit lot, right? It's just crazy. But yeah, I admire you. I have to say, it's crazy. Stevie, give us a question. Actually, no, Athena, it's your
Yeah.
turn. Sorry, you need to give us a straight sex question.
Okay. Very, very easy one. What is the C word on a woman's body?
Clitoris.
Yes.
So why is it called the C word?
I don't know. I just called it like that.
Oh, I
just
see what you
wanted to
mean.
know if you knew about it.
So tell us, why is it that men can't seem to find it?
I don't know. I
Oh
think
my god, sorry, I just need to interrupt. Do you know that TikTok of like the man that's like tied up and the woman's like, tell me where it is? And the guy's like, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so. Yeah, so. Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm trying. So that's right. Yeah, she's like, he's tied to the radio. She's like slapping him. She's like, where's the clitoris? He's like, I don't know. She's like, where is it? So I'm going to have to post that now.
And he like spits at her like, no.
Yeah. So why is it? I know it sounds stupid, but it sounds like because externally you can see the clitoris, right?
oh no.
No. Oh, it doesn't poke
No.
out.
No, it doesn't. Unless you're on steroids.
Ah.
Like,
So where is it?
yeah.
It's like inside the vagina.
It's like where you have your vagina, like shaped like a rounded diamond.
Yeah, yeah.
On the top part, you open like the top lips, and it's somewhere there.
Right.
Like,
So why is
but
that
yeah,
so
you can.
hard for men to... So when people say, "Oh, he can't find it," is it just because they don't bother with it? Is that more what the joke is? So it's not they can't
I think
find it. They
so.
know where it is. They just don't do anything with it.
They know where it is, and I think they like. I think it's a communication problem because probably most straight men grew up watching porn, straight porn, and then they mostly see penetration, and also in movies, it's always like penetration, penetration. As of like, as for me and for most of my friends, I know that penetration is like the least important part, you know.
Right.
So there's not enough attention put towards this, you know, towards the clitoris. And I think many men also, they're so ignorant. They treat it like they would treat their own penis, and they get really rough with it. And then it's really painful. And it's like, you know, and then you reflexly just remove his hand and you're like, "Ugh, just get on with it. You know, stop touching me."
So what? And then you just end up having to do it yourself whilst he carries on.
Yeah, or like if you have a good communication,
Okay.
like I'm grateful I do now. Like obviously you can tell each other what you like, what you don't like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair enough. And do you like because you know those like the vibrators that look like microphones that women always use? What are they called? What are those called? They're just like they're not dildos. They're just vibrators, right? What are they actually
Yeah,
called?
Vibrate.
They're called something else,
I
though, aren't
think,
they? What are they? Ah, they look
I
like
don't know.
microphones. You know the ones that look like karaoke
I
microphones.
know.
Those ones. Like, do you use those whilst having sex ever, or not really?
No, we're too possessive for that.
What? Too possessive to even
Oh
allow
yeah.
a dildo into the bedroom?
Oh yeah. Totally.
Wow. Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm a little bit toxic, okay? And so is Marco.
I'm a
So
little bit toxic. Oh, we know that, babe. That's okay. In a good way, of course.
yes.
Of course,
Yeah, of
always.
course.
So, and then I've always wondered this, and this is a straight sex question I have for you. So, the vagina is in this diamond shape. It has obviously the labia that are there as well, kind of protecting it and, covering it and stuff. So, how do the men know where the hole is? I know it sounds so stupid, but obviously, you know where the bum hole is because it's there. It's a hole. It's just there. But how? Because I know it sounds so stupid, doesn't it? But obviously, like it's a diamond shape, but the hole isn't the whole diamond shape, is it? There's like the clitoris at the
No.
top, then there's like a small bit in there that is the hole, right? So, do you know what I mean? It's like,
It's not that small, Dan.
well, but still, but like how do they know? Is it at the top? Is it underneath the clitoris? Is it at the bottom? Like where is it?
It's closer to the bum.
To the
It's quite kind of
to the
close
bum.
to the bum hole.
To
Yeah,
the bum
but not too
hole.
close.
It is close to the bum hole. The way you said bum hole was so cute. Okay, and so and do they? Because obviously the pee hole is separate as well, right?
Yes, I like you have the clit, you have the pee hole, and then you have
The
the
vagina.
vagina.
Okay, so how do they ever sometimes accidentally put it into the pee hole, or is the pee? I assume it's not big enough, right?
I think they mostly
No.
accidentally try to put it in the bum hole.
Oh, is it accidentally
Yeah.
though, or?
They're like, sorry.
Yeah, silly me, wrong hole. I think that's such a shit excuse when people say, "Oh yeah, sorry, wrong hole." I'm like, come on, surely you know the difference.
A few of my friends are, it has genuinely happened to them, like when they're really in the moment and going for it, and then it's like
That's
fallen out,
different.
gone back
I
in,
think
and
slipping out
it's
and
gone
going
in
into
the
the
wrong
wrong hole,
hole.
surely that's different. But
Yes,
like,
actually, that's what I meant.
oh,
But
okay.
hey, I have to go pee, but you two just,
No,
I'll
it's
be very
okay.
quick.
It's okay. We're going to finish up now anyway, so don't worry.
Oh,
But yeah, listen, there's so many
okay.
things that we could always talk about when it comes to sex anyway. But Stevie has to go in a minute anyway. But
But I have so many questions about gay
I
sex. You've
know.
told me about
I've,
the gold ticket gays, but wait, I still have so many questions and about the poppers. Okay, but I have so many
well, if
questions.
people enjoy this episode and they want to talk more about sex, then we'll have to do this again, and we'll have to maybe we can do ask questions on Instagram and we can answer them. We probably won't know any of the
Oh,
answers, but we'll
Oh my
try.
god, yeah.
So yeah, well, it was so nice talking to both of you. Thank you for coming on, and yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime because I think it's really good that people get comfortable talking about
if
this.
anyone asks, if anyone has been through the whole podcast.
Yeah, in fact, I tell you what, if you've been through the whole podcast, I want you to send all three of us a message and tell us that you got through and that you
Yeah,
enjoyed thoroughly listening about pussies, penises, gay sex, douching.
the water,
Yeah,
the bomb
golden
water.
ticket gays, platinum gays. Maybe tell us your favorite reference and let us know. Well, thank you so much to both of you. Love you lots, and I'll see you again soon.
Thank you too.
I love
Love
you. This
you.
was super
It was
fun.
so
Bye.
much fun.
Bye.
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 Hey, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and so does Athena and Stevie. We hope you had a good time, and if you learned anything today, that's awesome. So, what do you want to hear us talking about next? Make sure you drop me a DM, let me know, and make sure you like and subscribe to all of the channels that we run this podcast. We're available on all of them, so go and give us a nice 5-star rating, and I will love you forever. Thanks again. Bye.
That was all the tea that you can get this week. Join me next time right here. It's the Weekly Tea.